Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of whatever this show is going to be called. Normally on this show we cover the last week of gaming news, but because the last few weeks have had so much news, so much of it too good to pass up, we're giving you an extravaganza of the last few weeks to kick off the show. And just like Wendy's, I'm going to give you some hot, juicy meat. Stories. So Yoshi, you know that little green dinosaur that Mario seems to think is some sort of horribly deformed horse? Well, it turns out Yoshi isn't actually his real name. Like all animals in the real world, and like none in the fictional world, the Yoshis actually have a scientific name so that Professor Egad can discuss these species intelligently with his imaginary colleagues. Derived from what I presume to be very real Latin, Yoshi's real name is actually T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas. We don't have any official word on what the T stands for, but after some very thorough research, we've concluded that it most likely means Tyrannosaurus, Tongue Monster, or Tupac. Mario, meanwhile, is called a Homo Nintendonus, which... Mario news continues as Nintendo has announced an update to Mario Kart 8 that allows players to download free karts designed to look exactly like a Mercedes-Benz, because no Mario Kart game is complete without advertisements for authentic, real-world brands. The update also adds a mini-map of each racetrack to the TV screen, so that people who are playing without the Wii U's gamepad can, see it. Unfortunately, what this update does not fix is the game's dreadfully boring Rainbow Road. Seriously, I can imagine the development process right now. Aw, shucks, we forgot to make a new Rainbow Road!
Oh boy, that really is a doozy, isn't it?
Well, we could take this boring course and paint it a bunch of different colors and throw a bunch of satellites and stuff in there. Who's gonna notice? Japan continues to drown itself in love juice over a game called Yokai Watch 2, a name which I admittedly don't know how to pronounce, but that's okay because nobody knows how to spell it either. Yokai Watch 2 is developed by Level 5, the same people behind the Professor Layton series and Ni no Kuni. It is inspired in very large part by Pokemon, and it ties into a children's anime series. So in other words, it's the collective wet dream of the entire country. It's been at the top of the charts for a month now, it's just broken 2 million units sold, and it's still selling 100,000 more units per week than the game in second place. And speaking of Pokemon, we've had a ton of news for the upcoming Ruby and Sapphire remakes. We've had new Mega Evolutions announced from Lopunny, Altaria, and Salamence, and let me tell you, nothing gets me more excited to play Pokemon than a badass monster like Salamence turning into the Starship Enterprise. I've heard from the grapevine that Mega Jinx and Mega Electivire are modeled after Kirk and Dahura, while Mega Electrode is just a recolored drawing of Patrick Stewart's head. And of course the internet has been taken by storm by Mega Slowbro, whose face pretty much summarizes my feelings on any Pokemon designed after Generation 4. And finally, GameStop announced a plan to offer users 20% more when trading in used games. So now I can get $1.35 instead of $1.10 when trading in the copy of Watch Dogs that I bought last week. But the real winner, or maybe the real loser, of big changes this week is Twitch, whose new policies are so profoundly absurd that they have affected official streams, like from the company themselves. They've partnered with a company called Audible Magic to scan your videos for copyrighted music, and if they find any, whether it's coming from the background or from the game itself, they will mute entire 30-minute sections of your video, no questions asked. They've also completely removed the ability to save full streams forever, so if you want to preserve your streams, you're going to have to go through each one and save them as highlights. Now the good news is that they've removed the maximum time limit on highlights, but then why even do that? So who knows what they're trying to accomplish. Now I don't know anything about Twitch really, except for that little fishy that swims around playing Pokemon, but anyway, I can tell these changes are bad.
And now, it's time for... Wow, that guy really sucks.
Crytek CEO Savat Yurli has been in the spotlight for a long time. He's the executive producer of just about everything that Crytek makes, including Crysis, Far Cry, and Rise, Son of Rome. And lately he's been trying to guide the company in their transition to a completely free-to-play business model. And not long ago, the company issued a press release saying that positive news was on the way. And that's awesome! Are they about to announce big profits? Is the sequel to Rise finally going to be confirmed? Are they making big progress on the next Homefront game? Let's find out. Oh, okay. So he closed the Crytek UK branch. He downsized the Crytek US branch. He laid off over 100 workers. Another 100 employees quit. including the bosses from each of Crytek's major projects. And he hasn't paid employees in 4 months. Yay! So what's going on at Crytek? I mean, there's gotta be some reason for all this, right? There is. Crytek is in a transitional period, as explained earlier. And like any transitional period, that requires tight financial planning. So as CEO, it's his job to try to figure out where those resources come from and go to. He can integrate pieces of the plan as they become financially viable. He could downsize some of the staff and then use those resources to complete the transition. Or if you're Savat Yurli, you could stop paying everybody and then get mad at them when employee morale decreases. Yurli says, "Some people were very impatient and got angry at the smallest delay," which, I mean, yeah, that is the language I would use too if I hadn't paid people on time in 4 months. Also, there was a critique of us not being proactive in communication, which we don't understand. We had even told people how they should maybe work with different banks at a personal level to prepare. Or if not, they could make a choice to resign and look for other jobs. And that, of course, is what 100 employees did, because people generally have a natural inclination against being used for unpaid servitude. But come on, he seriously told people to take out bank loans? When your boss is telling you to take out loans from a bank, which have to be paid back at quite a high interest rate, instead of paying you the money that he legally owes you, that is a very serious sign that A, he does not deserve that position, and B, the company is in some serious long-term trouble. But our priority was not to downsize the company, our priority was to not let anybody lose their jobs at that point. We wanted to keep everybody tied together as a team. Except, you know, the entire branch and a half that he closed. Those guys can go screw themselves. But everybody else, they were a team. And the worst part is, he never admits any fault. Oh, no. He actually assigns blame and then criticizes his own employees' character and spending habits. I was surprised and a little bit upset that the intention of us keeping everybody together upset a few of them. But I can understand that situation. Some people live in very tight financial planning. That's their own privacy. They can do whatever they want. And this is where his hypocrisy really shines through, because he is so condescending to people who aren't taking one for the team and working for free. But you know who else is in some really tight financial planning? That's right, Mr. Yurli, your entire company. How he could be so naive as to run a company that is so financially unsound that they need their employees to work for free, and then turn around to criticize them when they get a little bit snappy that they aren't handling money well enough, is so far beyond my mind. Me trying to understand that is like the Quap guy trying to outrun a blue hedgehog. And that, my friends, is why Crytek CEO Savat Yurli is our very first guy who really sucks. I hope you've enjoyed our show. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Please be sure to check out Gamnesia.com for more gaming news as it's happening, and check out the links below in the description if you want to read more about the stories covered in this video. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening, or whatever time of day it is that you're watching this, and I cannot wait to see you next time.